Are you planning on going on a tour around Roosevelt Warm Springs with you as a parent or you as a child? What can you expect? What sights will you see? Let's see. Well, you'll find out in just a second. And hi, I'm Jake Parker, and today in this little video, I want to give you kind of an overview of what to expect on your Roosevelt Warm Springs tour. I've done one of um, these as I prepare for my time. Uh, as the recording of this video, I'm going to Warm Springs in a couple months. So, but I had my tour probably actually a couple months ago. So it was a little while, but I wanted to make this video just kind of give you an overview about like what to expect, where to go, all that stuff. So to schedule a tour, if your child is going to Roosevelt Warm Springs, they'll most likely actually probably contact you about scheduling a tour. If you did not, you can go research online or probably call and ask around for a tour. Just call Roosevelt Warm Springs, and I'll bet you they'll direct you to the right place to get you set up on a tour. On a tour. So anyway, now I personally wasn't involved as far as the booking process was concerned. So I don't know how easy it was necessarily to book, but from what I've heard, it did seem like they asked a good number of questions, and depending on if you're like a parent or going on like a family tour, or if you're an educator going on a different type of tour, they'll ask you a different set of questions. Um, you know, just kind of just kind of just kind of just yeah. So just know that and just be prepared to answer questions. Um, well, anyway, so once you have your tour scheduled, I believe you'll get an email of the tour location and all that stuff of where it starts. Um, Now, I will say though, depending on how your tour goes, how many people show up and stuff, although they're saying my tours that all the tours are filled up, so probably most likely be like it is, like I'm mentioning in this video. But if your tour is a lot smaller, maybe it'll be a little bit different. Or if you're an educator, it might be a little bit different because you might be seeing the whole facility. Um, in this particular video, I'm going to cover the family tour, the tour that we took, or that I took with my parents. Um, and so let's just start. So when you arrive to Warm Springs, when you drive up, there's actually on the way to campus, there's actually a little map of the campus. And so you can take a picture, of that if you want. But if you just want to know the gist of where you need to go. So you are starting your tour at Georgia Hall. And so, um, to give you some context, so you'll drive up to campus, and there'll be some signs. You'll gear off to the right. You'll be heading toward Georgia Hall. And so once you head on the side, that's not Camp Dream, essentially. Um, Dream. So the first building on the right. Um, so and you'll enter a complex with multiple stuff. But the first building on the right that you will see is a building called Blanchard Hall. And that's the place basically where like voc rehab and missions is, and psychology services, and a lot of that stuff. That's where that takes place. Um, so so you got Blanchard Hall, and then you continue straight, um, and then towards the center of campus. On the left, you'll see a small chapel, and then on the right, you'll see Georgia Hall. And so once you get to Georgia Hall, believe parking. So you'll turn left, and there's parking there. Parking is free. You don't need to get a ticket or anything like that, or talk to security or anything. Once you get into Georgia Hall, you will make a left. Go left, and you'll and on the left side, if you still aren't sure of where to go, there is an information desk right there. So if you are confused, you can go there, and they will be sure to answer all your questions. Um, but 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 so we met in the Meadows classroom, and so we met there, said hi to some staff members. Then we got a handout, and the handout consists of programs that are offered at Warm Springs, and on the back it's just another. It did it like on one page it talked about the admissions process, and then on another page it talked about like the tours, like the QR codes you could scan with like with tours. So I guess if you were to invite other people, know which tour to go on. And so once you get there, um, so once you get there, we actually got there relatively early, so we were early, but once the time comes, they'll announce, when they'll start and all that. When they start, they'll introduce themselves, and then they're going to start off with a presentation. And so the presentation is going to talk about Warm Springs. It's going to talk about the program. It's going to talk about different. It's going to talk about all the programs that are offered, what they consist of, and just stuff. And then I'll also just say like general stuff about residence life, and like life on campus and stuff like that. Um, and then it was just several slides of just stuff. Of slides, just going through like like all the different programs, and dorm staff and all that. And also they mentioned some commonly asked questions from parents and stuff, and so they answered those. And then at the end, before we got to tour the place, um, they gave us an opportunity to ask questions, uh, so they did answer every single question that we felt like was presented in the room. Um, once that finished, I mean that probably lasted about, I don't know, probably 10 minutes. I would probably say, or no, maybe even five. Um, so then we got so then we actually got, because our group is so large and the buses there are so small, we actually got divided into two groups. But we both saw the same places. It was just in a different order. Um, and so and so all so anyway, so we got on one group bus. So we got on a bus. Um, so so we got on the bus, and then we went around campus. And so first our first stop was actually Blanchard Hall, but it wasn't necessarily to go over admission stuff. it was because that was where one of the programs is currently. They currently have a hospitality program going on there that's actually relatively new, but 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 they show it in the tour so that they can get an idea of what what the training here is like. I mean, and I could just see, it's real stuff. I mean, it's like, and they learn real job skills and learn how to do different stuff. Um, and it's not much classroom stuff. A lot of it is just hands on, which I appreciate. Once we finished, or that's what we did. Yeah, so after we finished Blanchard Hall, then our next stop was what they call the residential complex. Um, and so in the residential complex, we got to tour two different types of dorms. We toured the dorm style, and we got to do the apartment style. The dorm room style, it's just like any college dorm room. Two beds, closet, bathroom, room, and I think there is like some shared space or whatever for showers, I think, and stuff, and there is like shared laundry space as well. But then we got to the to the apartment style, and it's really something. The apartment style, um, it depends on the room on how many can it can accommodate. But the nice thing about the apartment style is each uh, client, or so they call it, gets their own room, and so in fact they said when you come here, if you do get one of these rooms, you'll get a key to your room, to the whole room, and then you'll get a key to your personal room, um, and so that's good to know, just for anybody, but. But we did ask, well, how they determine who gets what. Well, they said, well, it's really who signs up first. So just kind of know that. Um, but it was really nice stuff. Really nice dorms. Once we finished that, they did also show us some public spaces inside the residential complex. They showed us the library. So it was a space where students can read, and I think they had some computers in there, kind of watch TV and stuff. Or the TV wasn't on, but I think the but students can read and all that. And then and then on the other side of that, on the other end, there is a there is a there's a little cafe area. So they're saying, like, well, this is kind of like, like if you were to go get DoorDash or something, which, you know, and so you can't theoretically do that. Take with that information with what you will, but know that food here though is included though with your admission, which is basically nothing. But anyways, so once we finished in the once we finished in the dorms, the residential complex, and then we headed, and then the last place on our, well, really the last place before we wrapped things up was, this is probably the longest names out of all the places there, and that is the and it is called the Center for Therapeutic Recreation, or I think they call it CTR for short. But it's essentially the rec center. They have like a pool, a full on bowling alley, what else is over there? A gym with classes and stuff that students take. Um, they have game rooms, bikes, just a whole lot of different stuff. And I'm just scratching the surface here of just stuff that I can think of just off the top of my head. But there's a lot of stuff to do in the rec center. So so I bet it is busy there. Um, so so then after we finished touring there, um, we um, we kind of wrapped up. So we went back to Georgia Hall, went back to the classroom that we started at. And we were kind of waiting on the other group to finish up, but because it was so close, I don't know. They were just, I don't know. But they ended up we ended up just finishing up our side of the tour, and so by our side I mean our group just finished the tour. So they just wrapped up with, do you have any questions? And if not, then then be on your way. And so that's the tour. That's that's uh, that's that's our side. That's really what to expect on the tour. Now there is one thing that I do want to add though. Just one bonus thing. We did do the food. We did the food while we were there. Um, Food while we were there. Their prices actually are pretty reasonable if you're visiting. So just know that. Their prices are very cheap, and so we each got something. They I can't remember what all was serving that day, but I think they had like fish wrap and some other stuff, some beef thing, and maybe even like some vegetable stuff. Really, just good stuff. But anyway, so we tried the food. It was good, and then we were on our way. So anyway, so I hope that I really hope that this video has really given you some insights into what to expect. Now, because I don't really do a lot of editing or don't really know how to, honestly, um, honestly, there I don't really have like a lot of pictures in this video. I realize, and so what I'm gonna do is um, is I'm gonna post a link. Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency actually has Warm Springs actually has their own tour, and like a virtual tour. You should still do a tour if you watch it. I mean, because the video really just scratches the surface, and on top of that, some of the information in the video is a little bit outdated because it is 6 years old. But I'll put that in the link below so that so you can watch it in case you're curious or just want to see campus before you even get on. I know that video has really helped me see campus and really help think about it and process it. So, but of course, there's nothing like stepping foot on campus. So, um, yeah. So, I just want to thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, go ahead and just like this video. But go ahead and just clicking the thumbs up. Getting the thumbs up. Just show the YouTube algorithm that you actually do like my stuff. And then another thing you could do is click the subscribe um, button, and then if you want to get a push notification of essentially whenever I post a new video, uh, in addition to clicking subscribe, click the bell icon and then click all. That means you'll get push notifications of any time I receive a new video, or I receive anytime I post a new video, and so looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye bye.